because Jo Rowling ultimately did open up on who lives, who dies, and her reasons for the decisions.
You left us hanging a little bit. A little, but I have to say that it would have been humanly impossible to answer every single question that fans have. Because I'm dealing with a level of obsession in some of my fans that will not rest until they know the middle names of Harry's great-great-grandparents.
Well, people have gotten a little obsessive.
No, I love it. I'm all for that. I'm delighted they feel that way. But, you know, it's a book. You know, maybe one day there'll be an encyclopedia and that would be a different kettle of fish. But within a novel, you have to resist the urge to tell everything.
One thing some anxious readers, including myself, couldn't resist, though, was starting at the end of the book to find out the answer to the question everyone wanted answered. Does young wizard Harry Potter live or die?
Had anyone skipped to the last page before reading?
I did, I know.
You didn't, did you?
I did. I could not wait.
I should have published the last chapter separately. Forced you to read till the last.
Well, we all went back. It's not like we didn't go back. But you built up, you know it's your fault.
17 years' work. You kind of want people to reach it in the way you want them to reach it. Sorry to sound controlling.
I guess you have the right after 17 years. You created a whole, I mean, not just a world, but a language. You have Quidditch, you have Muggle, you have Polyjuice.
But I love doing that. I love those kind of words. And to write something where I don't get to make up words anymore is going to be quite sad in a way. Because, yeah, that's been part of the pleasure for me.
Do you have a favorite of all of them?
I really like Quidditch.
You guys do too?
Yeah. Quidditch probably still my favorite.
And how did you get that?
Do you know, I really don't know. I think I've still got the notebook where I kept scribbling. For some reason, I definitely wanted it to begin with a Q. So there were a lot of Q words. I think probably Quidditch because it rhymes with pitch. You know, that felt nice to be able to say Quidditch pitch.
Okay, here comes the first spoiler alert.
Which means to receive the full
Jo
benefit.
spoke about the main characters.
It's the same door I've been dreaming about.
Young wizard Harry Potter and his two best friends.
Did you ever want to, or did you ever consider killing Harry or Hermione or Ron?
Yeah, definitely.
You did?
Yeah, in the plotting stages, definitely that was a possibility. And I'm very proud of the fact that as we went into this book, many, many readers believed it was a real possibility that Harry would die. Proud not because that means that I've got people on tenterhooks. Proud because it means that the books are imbued with a sense of genuine mortality. It was felt to be a possibility that the hero would die. And that's what I was aiming for, that you really felt that anyone was up for grabs. And because that's how it would be, you know, if you've got a character like that who's determined to kill Voldemort, I'm talking about, of course, not Harry, then that's how it would be. No one's safe. It could come to anyone.
One character, Arthur Weasley, the father of Harry's friend Ron, seen here in the movie Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, actually got a new lease on life.
When I sketched out the books, Mr. Weasley was due to die in book 5.
So what happened, though? Why did he get the reprieve?
Well, I swapped him for someone else, and I don't want to say who for the people who haven't read, but I made a decision as I went into writing Phoenix that I was going to reprieve Mr. Weasley and I was going to kill someone else. And if you finish the book, I expect you probably know it's someone else who is a father. Because I wanted there to be an echo of Harry's loss of parents. And you probably know who I'm talking about if you finish the book, but so there were 2 characters who were killed instead in 7. So Mr. Weasley did get attacked, as you know, in 5, but he would have died if I'd stuck to the original plan, but he survived. I had to keep him alive. Partly because I couldn't bear to kill him.
But there were 2 that weren't supposed to die that did end up dying.
Yeah, I swapped them for Mr. Weasley, but they don't die until 7.
So, as an author then, there were certain characters you couldn't bear to part with?
If there's one character I couldn't bear to part with, it's Arthur Weasley, and I think part of the reason for that is there are very few good fathers in the books. In fact, you could make a very good case for Arthur Weasley being the only good father in the whole series.
Jo was especially reluctant to lose Mr. Weasley because Harry had already lost so many father figures. His godfather, Sirius Black, and Hogwarts school headmaster, Dumbledore. They were victims in the struggle against evil arch-villain Voldemort, who killed Harry's parents when he was just a baby.
But did you worry at all, Jo, when you're writing the book, that you have so many fans, kids, writing in saying, please don't take Harry, that you might have just devastated a lot of kids by taking Harry or Hermione away?
Of course that affects you. I can remember just before Phoenix came out, meeting a boy who said to me, please never, ever, ever, ever kill Hagrid, Dumbledore, or Sirius. Oh my God. And he was a really nice boy who had some problems in his own past, and he was definitely saying, don't kill any of these people who've been fathers to Harry. And I knew that I'd already done it. I'd already killed Sirius, and I can't pretend that looking at him I didn't feel quite awful.
But it's got to be painful, as you said, when a young man comes up to you and begs, please don't.
Well, it was. In that case, that one stands out in my memory, but there have been lots of others where people have come up and really pleaded for their favourite characters.
And now, here comes a huge spoiler alert. In Book 7, Jo killed off Harry Potter's close friends Lupin and Tonks.
Don't worry, Harry, we'll explain everything when we get back to headquarters.
And in doing so, left their newborn baby an orphan, just like Harry.
I wanted there to be an echo of what happened to Harry, just to show the absolute evil of what Voldemort's doing. The fact that you leave orphans and you leave children who then have to make their way in the world uncared for and unprotected. So that's why I killed the two that you know about in this book, which I hated doing because I love them both as characters.
Coming up, love, family, heartbreak. How Jo Rowling's life echoes through her books.
Definitely Mum dying had a profound influence on the books.
When Harry Potter, the final chapter, continues.